Have you ever felt the pain of betrayal? Have you ever been the betrayer? Have you ever been mocked, especially for doing what is right? Have you ever mocked anyone? Have you ever been beaten? These are just a few of the ways that Jesus endured the worst aspects of human existence. I was struck today when I was preparing for this sermon that the richness of the story of the Passion is how completely, how summarily Jesus endured every possible way of breaking relationship. It's a meme that was posted several times on my feed. It said, if I knew it was my last day, what would I do? I am thinking I'd go kick it, throw a party, go do something wild and crazy. And what does Jesus do? He washes the feet of his loved ones. Even the one he knew would betray him. Now imagine that you know that you're about to endure the worst suffering of your life and some of the worst sufferings that any human being could ever betray. Would you have trouble sleeping? Would you throw yourself on the ground, begging God to take it from you? I certainly would. I, every day, am tired of seeing the suffering of the world around us. Needless suffering because of human selfishness, human fear, human hatred. But what were Jesus' disciples doing when he was this distressed? They fell asleep. Now, I've fallen asleep in class and during sermons plenty of times in my life. Kind of awkward when you're the associate rector and you fall asleep while your boss is preaching. But that has happened before, and I'm sure it will happen many times to come with many other people. Would you have found it surprising to find your friends asleep if you were in that much agony? Then you see one who's supposed to be one of your closest friends, your closest follower, coming up to you, calling you by a name of respect, giving you the kiss of peace to betray you to those who are going to kill you. And yet to allow that to happen. Then to have your own sisters and brothers, people from your own congregation, if you will, make lies up about you, try to push you out, try to get you condemned. I know of clergy for whom that's happened. I know of laity for whom that's happened. Then it gets worse. He speaks the truth of his nature, and he gets accused of blasphemy. Trying to bring about God's kingdom gets you condemned by those you're trying to share that with. Then to have the external world say, okay, we're going to kill you because you're causing problems, because you're trying to change things. To be beaten, mocked, stripped bare, stripped naked in front of total strangers to be beaten. To have a crown of thorns rammed on your head and then to be executed. All because you're trying to make the world a better place. This is the crux, no pun intended, of the genius of Jesus' willingness to follow through this. he would never back down from what he was called to do. He never once betrayed his own purpose. Even when he asked God, "Why have you forsaken me?" he never turned his back. That's where the Hebrews passage makes a very powerful point. That our God is not aloof. He's not above pain. He's not above suffering, betrayal, hatred, fear, brutality, and murder. God has endured those things with us. Thus, what should be a symbol of abject horror is the symbol of our very community. There is no stopping the power of love, not even through death. Even though we know what comes on Sunday, tonight let us remember the ways in which we have suffered, the way Christ suffers with us, for us, through us. It reminds us that we participate in the building of that kingdom of heaven on earth. That we get to reclaim and transform even the worst images of the worst parts of humanity through the love of God, through the love of neighbor, through the love of self, as we follow the way even to and through the cross. So as we sit tonight and tomorrow preparing for what is to come, that we ponder the sufferings of the world, and remember that ours is a God who is with everyone who is suffering, with us, holding us in our suffering, in our wounds, our traumas, our failures, and our fears, leading us through his courage to take up our own courage